Did you know that a single confession from one of the most well-known televangelists in America has shaken faith communities across the world? Watch until the end, because what Creflo just admitted will leave you speechless, and might just shift the entire landscape of modern ministry. For years, Creflo was synonymous with prosperity preaching, filling stadiums, appearing on global broadcasts, and urging millions to tithe for divine blessings. But what he said on a quiet Sunday morning in 2025 wasn't business as usual. It was a bombshell of a different kind. With emotion in his voice and visible tension on his face, Pastor Dollar stood before his congregation and did something few ever saw coming. He apologized. "I want to sincerely apologize to anyone I've misled," he said. "I've come to see some things differently." For someone who built an empire on the prosperity gospel, that statement hit like a thunderclap. But it didn't stop there. He went on to challenge the very foundation of his teaching, the notion that tithing was a divine formula for wealth. A doctrine that shaped decades of ministry was now being publicly retracted. Creflo admitted that he had simply been repeating what he had been taught, not necessarily what he had discovered through deeper understanding. He acknowledged that tradition, not truth, had guided much of his messaging. "I was teaching what I had been taught, not what was actually true," he confessed. It was a moment of raw honesty, but not without backlash. While some praised him for having the courage to admit his mistakes, others questioned whether it was too late, or even sincere. After all, the prosperity gospel had made him one of the wealthiest pastors in America, and that's where things get even more complex. Over the years, Dollar's lavish lifestyle, from private jets to multi-million-dollar properties, has drawn intense criticism. The optics of opulence mixed with spiritual authority never sat well with everyone. But this moment wasn't about defending wealth. It was about admitting to flawed doctrine. He encouraged believers to give from the heart, not because of guilt or fear, but because of genuine love and generosity. True giving, he said, should come from grace, not obligation. The church's reaction was immediate. Some were in tears, embracing each other and praying. Others were silent, processing the magnitude of what had just happened. Many longtime members struggled with reconciling this new stance with years of financial commitment. What about the millions donated under previous teachings? What does this mean for the credibility of the church moving forward? For a faith leader who once said, "Tithing is your covenant connector to wealth," the shift was massive. And the timing in 2025, as more Americans reassess their relationship with religion, made it all the more powerful. This could be a turning point, not just for Creflo, but for how churches everywhere talk about money, grace, and spiritual responsibility. In a time when trust in institutions is more fragile than ever, his confession has opened up a conversation that many have been avoiding. Is this the beginning of a more honest, grace-based Christianity? Or is it an attempt at damage control? After years of criticism, no matter where you stand, it's hard to ignore the ripple effects this has caused in religious circles and beyond. So what comes next for Pastor Dollar? He's hinted at future teachings focused less on financial formulas and more on faith, humility, and service. He's also announced a new initiative that focuses on charitable giving and debt relief for struggling families, aiming to shift the church's image from prosperity to purpose. Whether this is enough to restore trust is still up in the air, but it's clear that Creflo is trying to rewrite his legacy, one honest word at a time. What do you think? Genuine growth or too little, too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that explore faith, transformation, and truth in today's world.